So why were the religious people such jerks to Jesus during his time on earth? You would have thought he had the most beef with pagans or unbelievers, but it was actually the religious. It all goes back to the time of Alexander the Great, when he went and conquered the known world, and that included Judea and Israel. He brought Greek culture and beliefs and customs everywhere that he went. And so there's this group called the Hellenists. They were Jews that were influenced by this Greek culture. So around that time, the Pharisees rose up, and they saw themselves as protectors of the Jewish faith and traditions, and they were the gatekeepers. They also protected against false messiahs. The Jews looked to a messiah that would come in the lineage of David and would bring deliverance from their enemies. And so there was these different messiahs, some Greek influenced messiahs, and they would protect themselves from them. And so when Jesus came, over time they had become so entrenched in their traditions and in ways that they were closed at both ends, and they had lost their love for God and lost their love for their neighbor and for other people. And so they were very critical of Jesus. They were very critical of the way he associated with sinners. They were very critical of some of his beliefs because they had gotten some of their beliefs wrong. They had saw themselves as such policemen that there's no way they could have been wrong. And Jesus, as the fulfillment of the scriptures, as the Messiah, they missed the boat, and they saw him as a threat. So what can that teach us as believers today, especially us Christians, us religious people that are in our own different sects of, we're Baptists and Methodists and Presbyterians and even Catholics, even non-denominationals like the church I pastor. We can be closed at both ends. We can be so caught up in our ways that we can miss the boat in what God is trying to do. We can become judgmental towards others, those who don't see things quite the same way that we do. We can become gatekeepers, and every little thing is heresy, and we can make the mistake of shutting others out of the kingdom unnecessarily, where Jesus was opening the kingdom doors to all who would trust in him and believe in him. And so there's a lot of stone throwing in Christian circles, and it's just not healthy. It's just not good, and it keeps us from being who God has created us to be as the church, and that's the lights of Jesus in the world.